guys, and welcome back to another video. So I'm going to pop in a clip of how we plan for our homeschool in terms of our independent days. Okay, so as you know, through all of my videos, we have instructional days where I take the time and I'm teaching new concepts. We're reviewing concepts. It's hands-on. It's lots of discussion. I assign work and things of that nature. Okay, and then on my son's independent days, that's where he is completing whatever work that was assigned, to include some subjects that we don't traditionally go over as a routine during our instructional days. Okay, so when I am preparing or when I am planning for what he's about to do on his independent days, I like to use Evernote to lesson plan. If you look in my or look at my playlist that talks about Homeschool 101, which dives into how I go through my planning process, I plan out my entire year. But just because I plan out my entire year, meaning the subjects, the topics, the chapters, the page numbers, and so forth, even if I do that, I also plan. I like to lesson plan on a weekly basis, just to make sure that whatever I planned out for the year, we're still on track, we are still on target. If we are not on track and we are not on target, hey, that's okay. That's the beauty of homeschooling, because technically you're never off track, right? You can always tailor and change whatever you need to do throughout the year. It should be just fine. But again, on a weekly basis, I go ahead, I look at what I anticipated I would be teaching during that week, and then I'll make the necessary changes to reflect what's actually taking place that week. Okay, so 1 second here, I'm gonna figure out my turn. Okay, so I use Evernote to plan what my week is going to look like for the independent days only for my son, so that all he has to do is look at his agenda to see what the assignments are, and then he goes to Evernote and he pulls up the week's message, which is just a message where I, detail what he's going to do for the week on each of his independent days, to include something motivational or inspirational. I give him kudos for his successes that took place thus far, and I give him some reminders, some areas of opportunities and things of that nature. I will also insert clips of whatever topic I taught during the week. So for example, if we are on math and he is learning how to multiply 3 fractions or divide 3 fractions, or learning about, algebraic expressions as an example, whatever the math lesson is going to be about as an example, or whatever the language arts lesson was about for the week, I create videos that review those topics, or I create videos that introduce those topics, and I record myself, teaching it, providing examples on the whiteboard, and then he will he will watch those videos, okay, prior to him beginning a lesson, or prior to him completing a set problem, or things of that nature. So I insert those clips also onto Evernote. If I want him to watch a YouTube video, or I want him to go to a specific website, then I will insert hyperlinks within Evernote during that week for him to just click on, and it will go directly to wherever I need him to go. Okay, so yeah, that's how I plan out our lessons for independent days. Again, independent days are those days in which he has a set number of assignments to do based on whatever was taught during our instructional days. He will do those, and then he also completes subjects that we don't necessarily talk about on a routine basis. Some of those things are, as an example, he does his Bible devotional. If he has questions, of course, he talks to us about it. or if he's learning something exciting, he'll talk to us about it. He has his memory folder, which is inclusive of a set number of skills or set number of things that we want him to memorize and learn throughout the year. He has to do those, recite those to himself. You know, on his independent days, he may have some math flashcards to do his math facts. He may have a flashcard. He may have a game. He may have to write them out, whatever we decide. He also, you know, does his Beast Academy on his independent days. He reads whatever he wants to read, normally Life of Fred. He will also have, you know, geography. He may have some penmanship and things of that nature. So yeah, that's how I lesson plan for my son's independent homeschool days. So I'll go ahead right now and insert the clip of me going into Evernote, showing you the message. I'll also insert a clip of a lesson that I pre-recorded for my son. And yeah, that's how we do it. So see you in another video. And don't forget, guys, regardless of what's going on in your homeschool, just keep homeschooling on, okay? Keep homeschooling on. Enjoy the moments, both good and bad. Take a breather, take a break, you know, love on your kids, take care of yourself, put yourself first, in terms of, you know, trying to have some type of ritual or morning routine to get yourself prepared and all excited for the homeschooling day. And just be positive as much as you can. And remember that it's okay to call the homeschool day done if things aren't just working out for that day. All right? Deuces. Bye. I do for my son's independent days. If you recall in prior videos, I say that sometimes I record myself teaching a lesson or talking about a lesson. I go to Evernote, and this is where I upload those lessons so that he can hear it, watch me do examples, and then he can go about his day or his assignment. So during my mommy hiatus, which is for about 5 weeks, so from the point of me delivering my third child, for about 5 weeks, he is going to be completely independent. So what I did was I created his weekly schedule where I start off by giving him a message, and then I identify all the assignments that he has to do. Assignment is, as of yet, all I did right now was set up the weeks here. And then as you can see, on December 27th, I did this week, and I just, you know, put in a message, and then I identified all the assignments that he has to do for the week of February 3rd, as an example. So he has Bible, memory folder, typing logic, draw the world, Beast Academy 1 hour, complete corrections from January 27th. And then it tells him what he has to do in terms of his Saxon math book, what he has to do for science, what pages he has to read for Michael Clay Thompson, and some other things. So this is everything that he has to complete within that week. Again, week of February 3rd. And let me just have you listen to the message that I left him. You're going to have some independent reading for African American history. And you're going to start reading the Michael Clay Thompson grammar. And you're also going to start some poetry. You're going to actually start writing some poetry for me. Okay? Don't forget, every day we're going to do our Bible. Alrighty, for today's lesson, we are going to learn how to divide and how to multiply 3 fractions at a time. So you already know how to multiply and how to divide 2 fractions. We've done that already. If you need a refresher, go ahead, watch prior videos, and you can also go to your math notebook and kind of look at all the examples and talking points that we had, okay? So now let's talk about 3 or more fractions. 4/7 divided by 2/3 divided by 9/13. What do we do first? Instead of trying to tackle everything at one time, I'm going to recommend that you focus on taking two fractions and let's solve two fractions at a time. So let's go ahead and do 4/7 divided by 2/3. Let's rewrite that. 4/7 divided by 2/3. Now, remember what we learned about dividing fractions. Remember our mnemonic devices. First, we're going to reduce to the lowest terms if we can, and we're going to cross cancel if we can. So let's ask ourselves, can we reduce that to the lowest terms? No. How about this? No. Can we cross cancel? No. What do we do next? We're going to take the second fraction and what are we going to do? We're going to flip it. Correct. So let's go ahead and rewrite that. We have our 4/7. We flipped our second fraction, and that gives us 3/2, right? You agree? I know you agree. But what did I do wrong here? What did I do wrong? Once I flip my fraction, what else changes? Correct. The sign changes. So I flipped it, and I changed the sign. This is my new problem. Let's rewrite it.